Welcome, heroes, to the Outlaws Outpost, your unofficial guide to the best Overwatch League team, brought to you by the Good Night and Good Game podcast and the official Houston Outlaws supporters group, the Lone Star Vanguard. I'm your host, James, aka Visitant, aka Viz, and with me today from the Lone Star Vanguard is Jordan, aka Cree Rex.
Hey there.
Jake, aka Tunavi. And back with us this week is Joe, aka Nubitron.
Double howdy. Howdy.
It's been a rough week for the Outlaws, and we do have a lot to talk about, so let's just jump right into it. So, I think it's easy to say that we didn't quite think the weekend was going to go the way that it did. So, what were y'all's opinions about the games overall?
I was muted, so let me just say hello.
I guess I'm not gonna beat around the bush. I only saw the Outlaws game.
Which one? There's two Outlaws games.
Both of them. No. We watched the first Outlaws game at the facility at Outlaws HQ. And let me just say that Cool Matt brought in some Dairy Queen for everybody. And I was feeling terrible up until that point. The ice cream made it all better. So I mean, anytime Cool Matt gives you anything, especially ice cream, it's a special feeling. But I didn't see much of the other weekends. With that being said, obviously, big gut punch for me. After this weekend.
The whole weekend in general is just one big gut punch. Let's be honest. I remember seeing a tweet from Jake after the Boston game where it was like, sorry, we just didn't prepare well enough or something like that. And I just was thinking, then what were you guys doing? It's just one of those, it was like, if you weren't preparing for Boston, then you're preparing for Dallas. But then how do you explain Saturday?
Right, and
that's been Friday.
That's the big question that was on everybody's minds, right? They were like, okay, well, Houston lost to Boston. Maybe they were just preparing for the other opponent, which we've seen happen a lot in the league this season, right? A lot of players, or coaches, they go in saying like, look, the bigger game is day 2. We need to really hunker down. We have a bigger opponent, as it were. And we're not saying that's what the coaching staff did, obviously, but that's how a lot of people felt after the Boston loss. They were like, well, we lost to Boston, but we were probably preparing for Dallas. So we're going to go out swinging, on Friday.
Yeah.
I do. So we watched the match. The players came out for the meet and greet.
Mm-hmm.
Crimzo grabbed the mic and he said something along the lines of, look, the results we got this week were not what we wanted. And honestly, we're just going to go out there. We're not going to give a shit. And we're going to put we're going to give everything from here on out. And we're going to stop overthinking things. Crimso's got a good attitude about, it's a slump. You go 0-6 and you lose out on Hawaii.
Mm-hmm.
That's a slump. So, and it's a big slump. It's a big deal.
It's like Dallas is this boss that we keep fighting every time the move to Hawaii happens, and we're just we're Dark Soulsing our way through it. We just haven't quite gotten there yet.
Yeah, Dante's face said it all. He was very boomed. If I can, read his face and it means anything, but
Yeah.
Crimzo had a good attitude. But it's hard not to be boomed after going 0-6.
Well, here's the thing. You know that Dallas is going to be a challenge.
Sure.
But why was Boston also a challenge? It just felt like, I don't know. It was one of those things where it just felt like we put too much effort into one thing and not enough effort into the other. Because if we would have just won the Boston game, we would have been in the playoffs. And Boston didn't even have to go up against Dallas, right?
Yeah, but Boston's just been this kind of weird sleeping dragon that just out of nowhere is just, woken up and been like, by the way, I'm back since season 1. Here I am, guys.
And we've talked about this before, where it's like, man, having to play for 2 games in a week I just think it's just dumb, man. It's gotta go. You can't focus
trying to prepare for 2 games in a week.
Yeah, and not to take anything away from the teams, obviously, not to take anything away from Boston or Dallas. Boston earned it. And Dallas is just, I mean, right now it's just, you know, you said they're the raid boss right now, right? So
I will add, we actually had 4 games in the past 7 days, because we played Saturday, Sunday, Thursday, Friday.
That is a lot to prepare for.
So that was a very short period of time for a lot of stuff. And I was talking to Taylor about this the other day too. The maps did not favor the Outlaws in the Dallas game particularly, because I really think we would have been able to actively contend with Dallas had we been able to use our Arissa Sigma comps. But we were on Gibraltar, we were on Hollywood. Both of those maps are just very high ground focused, and we needed to take Oasis if we wanted to contend in this match even the slightest, because there was no way we were going to.
Yeah. And like Twitch chat is saying right now, you know, multiple games in a week is rough, especially when you're trying to prep for different play styles. Boston does have a very different play style than Dallas, and you know, we keep saying on the show we love the fact that we're seeing so much variation in the teams, in their comps, the way that they're playing. But yeah, preparing for those different play styles has got to be rough, especially when we do have so many games back to back like this, and just you can't sleep on Boston or Dallas right now. Like, do you prepare for one? Do you prepare for the other? Where do you divide your time? It's a very complicated question. I'm sure the coaches have been going over in detail since the games happened.
Yeah, and also for the folks out there, you know, we were at the office on Thursday for the game against Boston, and you know, we were there. You know, it's. I mean, even we hadn't even talked about it. We were like, oh, we're gonna 3-0 Boston. It's gonna be an easy clap, right? And you know, you kind of show up and you're there, and as a fan, you're just like, what the hell just happened, right? Yeah. And the players went and the coaches went right to work. Like the second they finished their game, they came out, kind of waved a little bit, and went straight into a meeting. All right. So for everyone out there, just like, oh, what are they doing? Well, they're heckin' worried about what's going on.
They knew somewhere along the lines there was a mistake that had been made. So.
Happy was grinding after that loss, like grinding on Overwatch. I walked by and saw him.
Do y'all think there were any highlights to the games this weekend? I mean, do you think there was like any moments where something positive came out of it?
We were there.
Yeah. We had a live event. We got to see people in a
we got to see
Overwatch setting.
I had one of the best weekends of my life. I mean, I'll say that. I do recall the home game that we had at the restaurant. I do recall there were moments where the crowd was getting loud, real loud. We won a fight and the crowd was getting so loud. There weren't many of those.
Okay, so yeah, let's kind of dive into that though. Y'all did have the pleasure of being at the homestand event, you know, in Houston. A lot of our audience may not have had that experience. So what was that like for y'all when you were there? Like, give us just some details, some stories, your interactions with everybody.
I can start off by saying that I think Sarah Strawberry is in chat. Sarah, we met you at the homestand, or at Urban Beat, and at the Ice House afterwards, right? Yes. So it was very nice to meet you. We got to meet a lot of new Outlaws Nation family, and of course some OG members, right? Speed Lemons was there. Hadn't seen him since the pandemic started. We had Telepunk pop in there. We had Lieutenant Dan show up.
Angela Ziegler was there. The
infamous
has done a lot of the Outlaws stuff. I got her print of the that anime opening outro.
Yeah, where they're running with a banner and stuff.
Yeah. I got that print from her.
Yeah, we got to see Matadora as well. She was there.
Yeah.
Just seeing so many wonderful new faces was we needed it after a tough year. Everyone had the same sentiment of finally we can kind of start coming back into the wild. And we also got to meet the content creators, right? Jenna, Lucia Firefly was there. Same thing with Lord Enzo. He was there. We got to hang out with them a whole bunch, get to know them, And
really cool people.
Awesome.
That was, I think that was my highlight of the weekend. It was just being able to like hang out with Lord Enzo, Elusive, Jag, Shadow, a lot of the Outlaws staff, in just kind of like a casual, like, we've known each other for a while, not as a, oh my god, you're this person who does these awesome amazing things. And it was, I don't know, it was kind of humbling just to be like,
well, I mean, we say so often on the show that the Outlaws Nation is more than just a group of fans, right? We often treat, God, I know Tuna Butching is about to do. We treat each other like family.
Family.
But also, when it comes to a game, the games that happened this weekend, it didn't sound like there was, and I hate that this is a thing, the Shock lose and there's so much negative backlash that is thrown at the players, right? Everybody gets on Twitter, it's just like, you're supposed to be the best, Shock, like, F you guys. In this particular environment where you were surrounded by not only like Outlaws fans, but Outlaws staff, you guys sound like you had like a little bit of a support structure for one another. Like, yeah, it sucks, but hey, let's all go have a drink together and like, get through this together.
Absolutely. And I think after the game, the players still had to show up to this meet and greet.
Yeah.
Had to put on their faces, and you could tell they were, some of them in a better spirits than others, right? But I love the fact that we had just gotten clapped, and every single person that was there when they showed up didn't care. Like, it's like that was hindsight 2020, and they were more about kind of like, hey, like we're here to support the boys, right? And they asked some awesome questions. They kept it light, and you saw a complete change in the players' attitudes the second that they realized it's like, oh, like
they're not mad at us.
yeah. And so that was also very refreshing. The fact that like Outlaws Nation stood up for their players.
I did actually have another highlight. It's actually really cool seeing the collegiate players play.
UST.
Yes, absolutely. We had, of all the rough things that happened over the weekend, getting to do that live show, getting to do all of that was such a highlight for me. I'm so happy you guys got to be like there and doing it. Like, that was so cool. You guys got to be co-hosting with me, but live from inside the studio, as it were. But that collegiate level play, let's just take a minute to talk about that, because we wrecked Dallas in that collegiate match.
Oh man, Tuna, you can attest to this. Well, Critty, like, their comms, you could hear
energy
through the walls.
Yeah.
Like,
Really?
and we were watching the broadcast, which had a delay, and so we were there, and like, you guys are talking about something, and all you hear is like, or like, different call outs, or then you just kind of hear them go like, yeah, like just kind of cheer out loud, and we're like, I guess they won the fight, or I guess they won the map. So, and they have this one player, I won't say his name or anything like that, but we all know who he is. Who, man, I'm just hope that we got to see some future Outlaws in the making there, because they have some talent, they got some characters, and
I mean, going into that match with University of St. Thomas, what we were talking about in the pre-show was all about how, these are relatively unknown esports players going up against a very seasoned team in, University of Texas, Dallas. And they came out swinging and just rolled them.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, they are definitely one to look out for from what I saw.
Their DPS players actually were some players that I think you might want to keep an eye out.
Absolutely.
In tier 2, tier 3 scene. Actually, probably tier 2 before tier 3. Because I feel like those boys, they're gonna go places, and they have the energy. They like, oh man, I wish I could have just like half their energy, given some of it to the Outlaws, and then there still would just been an abundance of energy left over from them.
There's a lot of energy.
Testosterone.
It sounds
if I
like there was still a
remember
lot of-
remember that testosterone. They were
And
wild.
then after the matches were over and we went our separate ways, and we met back up the next day at the Herb and Beat, they still had that same energy going into the match beforehand. So
Yeah, specifically to K Kevster.
Yeah.
That guy was
yeah.
like, "No!" the whole day. Except for when he got up to ask like the Outlaws players a question, he went from like, yeah, to hello, everybody. I'm a big fan and I'm a collegiate player, trying to climb the ladder. So let's go over some advice. I was like, what the hell happened to the guy who was like
The
screaming like for
professional
his
button
life?
just turned
Like,
on.
Who was begging
And-
the? By the way, we also played a game of Quick Lash between the match and the players showing up.
how do I play this?
Like,
Just
no,
makes
vote
it
for
look
me.
funny.
I'm a broke kid in college. I need to win. He was
So,
like
yeah.
pandering to the crowd to vote for his
Um,
answer.
I'm sitting here next to Decay Kevster during Quiplash. I'm just small talking. I'm like, so your gamer tag is Decay Kevster. So you took an Overwatch player, Decay, and you took an Overwatch player, Kevster, and you just made him one. And he goes, "Yeah, isn't it great?" I'm like, no.
Yeah. He's gonna have to rebrand if he wants to get into
Rebranded.
the league.
Yeah, you're gonna have
Well, I
to.
think
It was
his
Ivan.
name
Ivan is
yeah,
his
yeah.
actual like. He was on the
Tag.
roster as Ivan, I think.
Mm.
So.
Yeah.
Okay,
But-
so I think that like despite the rough weekend, the players really are taking their time to like approach how to move forward, especially after their defeat against Dallas. Just opinions from everybody. What do you think the players need to reevaluate going into the next series of games?
Well, I'm going to start off this question. I don't think I have time to fully reevaluate just yet because
Okay.
we're going to have, I mean, we can still reevaluate some stuff, but
Mhm.
we're about to have the Summer Showdown tournament. As soon as that tournament finishes and wraps up, in comes hero bands. So whatever you're preparing for right now,
Right.
there's a potential that someone's gonna throw a rock in your plans. So I mean, you could be like, okay, we're gonna run, Arisa, Sigma, Echo, Ash,
Right.
and then we'll have Ana, Brig, and that's our supports. And then all of a sudden,
Mm.
Arisa gets banned, Sigma gets
Right.
banned, Echo
Do we
gets banned.
who do we think we could see for bans?
I believe the only ones that cannot get banned this next stage are Reinhardt, Tracer, Sombra, and Zen.
Right.
So I imagine
I'm feeling like an Echo ban is coming on.
I want a monkey
Symmetra.
ban.
The Symmetra ban.
Sim
If you-
and
If you do like Sim Echo, that would suck.
Well, I'm with Nubitron here.
And we
though.
got Tracer, baby.
I would actually like to see a Winston ban. As much as I love Winston play, there's
Mhm.
a lot of teams that seem like extra reliant on the monkey.
That could change a lot of things. If we see a Winston ban, that would change a lot of the meta currently.
And I feel like some of the lower tier teams might start making a slight climb.
Mhm.
I feel like Dallas,
Which is what we are seeing this season, though.
Yeah.
We're seeing these things like hero bans happen, and all of a sudden, these teams that were just not getting any wins suddenly climbing back up the ladder, which means, honestly, it means the hero bans are probably working as intended.
I feel like Dallas is very reliant on Winston play, and I would be really interested to see what happened if Winston wasn't available for Dallas to play. I feel like someone just needs to knock him down like a slight
Just knock him
peg.
down a peg.
Sparkle's too good at everything. Oh man. Watching him on Tracer this past weekend was just like, it was like awe-inspiring, but at the same time it's just like,
You're just
I
like,
hate you for being so good.
which I might add, half of our LSV team has played against Sparkle. When they played with Spree and oh my god, who else was it that they played with? It was Spree and God, someone back me up here. When the Echo tournament came out, we had it was like Badger, Transpired, Apollo, right? And then it was Spree. I definitely remember Spree. Oh, and Violet, of course. Violet played with us.
Oh yeah.
And we eventually lost to Sparkle's team.
Yeah.
So
He's just
yeah.
too good.
Yeah.
Like they didn't have a tracer player coming into the season, so Sparkle's like, all right, no problem, I got this. And then he's sticking pulse bombs right and left and building up pulse bombs every 30 seconds. It's like, stop being good, okay? I get it.
Tuna, what about you? Do you think that the Houston needs to take some time to like reevaluate a couple things, or do you think we're just so close to the next round of games that we just don't have time to?
I'm definitely very worried. We were so like we felt so strong, but this 0-6 couldn't have come at a worse time. Has me worried for like the end game playoffs, because we lost to Boston, Boston lost to what, Gladiators? No, Atlanta. And actually, Boston, who beat us 3-0, got 3-0'd by Gladiators and Atlanta. And they 3-0'd us. So I'm worried for sure. And then Gladiators lost to Reign. So, I mean, it's a slump, but
Yeah.
how long will the slump last? That's what I'm really concerned about.
I think we can't answer that question until the hero bans come out. Like you said, I think once we have an idea of who is getting banned, then we can.
I'm not as worried. Honestly, I think there might be certain bans that might hurt us more than anything, but I feel like
let's talk about that possible predicted Winston ban that you had there. Do you think that it should Winston get banned? Do you think that favors the Outlaws?
I think what we play: Reign, Justice, Mayhem, Gladiators.
Mm-hmm.
I think Gladiators and Reign have strong Reinhardt, Orisa style comps. I don't feel like it would be a detriment so much in those matches. It would really depend on what supports and DPS get banned, probably for those games. Mayhem, Checkmate. I don't know how I feel about Checkmate yet as replacement main tank. So I don't think Mayhem will necessarily be a potential issue at this point in time.
Yeah, Mayhem stonks are down, like way down.
They
were scary.
They were at the beginning of the season. Mayhem was like a beast.
I don't know why.
They just crumbled.
This is a whole another conversation I could have, but
they are one of the teams that we're going to be playing. I'm scared of the Reign. I'm really scared of the Reign, and it depends on how they do in this Hawaii tournament.
Right.
I think they could win the whole tournament, to be honest.
Really, think the Reign could do it?
They could. I'm not saying they will.
Yeah.
I also thought that last time and they got knocked out.
Yeah.
All I'm gonna say is this. We're saving the best for last. We're gonna have a very tough stage coming up. But hey, man, it's gonna show a lot. It's gonna really finally show like what this team is made. Our team is made up of, right? Like, what are they gonna, are they gonna overcome the obstacles, right? And pave a way to, their future, or are they gonna just kind of like crumble, right? And I don't see that happening. It is going to be tough. Definitely going to be a battle, but I mean, look, we met them, we saw them, how they're reacting. Sarah, their ceiling is super high. I don't think we've seen the best out of them yet. And I've said it, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. Sure, they had two really good games to start off, and they lost 2 games back to back. That's fine, man. Tom Brady started off 5-3, right? And then they came back and made it all the way to Super Bowl and beat the Chiefs.
Yes, absolutely. I will also follow that up with a sports reference as well. Just put it in there for me.
Tom Brady's been elite for 20 years.
Hey, fine. If you want to talk about the Euro too,
Tom Brady's one of the best players of all sports of all time ever.
Okay, fine. Think of England versus Italy. London scored on Italy. Italy tied it up as the game went on, and they won in penalty kicks. All right, comeback's coming, baby. The comeback's coming.
I was gonna say, I really think, we hit our bottom most peak. I think all our players kind of just had a bad weekend. And, reasons are reasons. I think we are heading on the upward spiral. I believe in our coaches. I believe in our players. And no matter what happens, I believe that we will come up with a plan of action and we will attack whoever, whenever in the matches, and we'll take them on, and we won't go down without stinging.
This is why we got Junk Buck. Is this situation like yeah, I'm being a realist and saying that the results are worrisome, but this is why we went out and got Junk Buck. I'm sorry if I cut out here for a second, but let me know if I'm good. Junk Buck knows how to win. Got 2 championships under his belt. And right now we need to kind of relearn how to win.
Okay.
So now Junk Buck this is why we got him. So I'm hopeful because it's a very nice, we got ammo, right? We got ammo.
And by the way, first year with this team and coach, by the way, first year.
Sure.
But he's got to step up because we need a huge leader right now. I think everybody's worried. I know y'all are optimistic, but
we obviously we're fans and we're going to be optimistic. But yeah, it's okay. It's okay to be worried. It's right.
Yep.
I will point out this is already the best season the Outlaws have ever had in Overwatch League history.
Yeah.
So
we actually have something to lose at this point. We've never had something to lose at this point. I'm just
saying at this point in
it's different.
The season and just
look, but you
general,
cannot take season 1 stage 1 away from us. You cannot take season 1 stage 1 away from us.
That was so fun.
But
it was a great time to be an Outlaws fan.
Just overall, it's already better than it's been. So I mean,
right.
Even if we do not make the playoffs,
this is defeatist talk. I will not accept defeatist talk on my show.
I'm just saying, even if we lose all the next 4 matches, this is actually the start of a beginning of a new team that will come back and next year be a force to be reckoned with. We have already proved ourselves that we're not a team that just sits in the middle of the pack, kind of closer to the bottom. We are a team that fights. We are a team that wins, and I have no doubt in my mind that the next 4 games we are going to not fight. We're going to keep fighting. We're going to keep going in. We're going to keep packing punches, and I don't have my doubts,
Okay.
But like I said, even if we do lose, I'm already way more impressed with the Outlaws this season than I have been.
Then you make an excellent point. So let's dive into the road ahead a little bit because we've got games against the Reign, Mayhem, Justice, and Gladiators. We got Hero Bands on the horizon. How are we feeling about those opponents? Just looking at those 4, how are we feeling about it?
It depends on how, like I said, Reign, if they just look really good in Hawaii, I'm not feeling good about that matchup. But if they kind of whimper out, we can take advantage of that.
You're not worried about Justice at all?
Justice, I think they can turn it on and they can turn it off. They'll lose matchups that they should win. Same with the Gladiators. Those the Mayhem, the Justice, the Gladiators. If we prepare right, those are 3 maps, and depending on bands, right? But those are 3 teams I feel good about beating. Reign, I don't look forward to a win versus Reign because they've never looked as good as they have in history. We'll see. Just being realistic. Reign looks really good right now.
Bands, honestly. If Reinhardt can't be banned, so I mean Gator's gonna have his Reinhardt, but say D.Va gets banned, I feel like that might be a blow to the Reign in their tank department, because I feel like Hawk is a very good D.Va. I mean, wasn't it just over the weekend he was just eating everything, ults left and right and stuff.
I'll say though that I'd say that if D.Va gets banned or whatever, I mean, hell, that saves Gator because Gator's a really good Orisa too, right? So I think it's I don't know. I'm just gonna say that I think they're all gonna be tough, but I just throw this out for the other supporters groups out there. I'm actually happy for you guys. Atlanta Royal family, y'all are awesome. Vice and Virtue for Washington, y'all are awesome. Gladiators, I don't think they have an SG. I wish they did. And the Chaos Crew out there in Florida. If you guys ever listen to this, hey man, it's about time we're all good, right? So
Right.
if we get clapped or we get no ill will towards y'all, you guys are awesome. Here to play more games with you guys. But
Mayhem's not good though.
at least we'll see. We'll see.
Mayhem
We're gonna see.
was pretty good starting off. I mean, there's the coaching there in.
But remember
behind
what we just said here is that these things like hero bands tend to take teams that are in the lower brackets and begin to rise them up. So you may not think that Florida is good right now, and they aren't. But with hero bands and things like that coming into the equation, we may see a very different Florida than what we've been seeing currently.
No, we're gonna beat Mayhem.
All right,
Okay,
guys.
I believe you. I believe you.
Crazy take time. I'm putting on my glasses to see the future. My Ka-Chow glasses. Hot take.
Who's getting banned?
Hot take. Outlaws have been throwing the games into the tournaments to save resources for grand finals.
Wow,
Yeah.
that is bold.
We have been
That is a
saving the
bold
resources.
plan.
We're like, guys, Hawaii's fucking expensive. Sorry for my language. Hawaii's expensive. Having to do that all the time? No. So we do. Throw those games. Save our resources.
You literally make money when you go to
Literally
Hawaii,
throwing.
noob. You literally profit off of Hawaii.
Only if you win.
No, you can go there and get fourth place and profit.
It's still a lot.
You
Dude,
make money going to Hawaii. There's
the-
a
Yeah, but
prize
you're
pool.
taking
Resources,
time
nah.
out of your week
Yeah,
to
nah.
sit on a plane for 8
It's a vacation.
hours.
You get paid to go on vacation.
It's not a vacation. Look,
No
the glasses
player
have
would
been
turn this down. You
I
literally
have
get
seen-
paid more than you would
I
not
have
to go to Hawaii.
seen the future with the Mike Ka-Chow glasses. That is what we've been doing. Just wait for the victory
Just been
speech
throwing.
after grand finals where we win it all, and they're gonna, boom.
All hail.
Let me say one
psychic
thing.
noob.
So if we go toe to toe with Rain and we lose like a 3-1 or 3-2, but we look really good, and then we steamroll Mayhem, we beat Justice, and we beat Gladiators, I'm gonna go into, and that's gonna be like end of season playoffs, right? Or then we got Hawaii again, and then end of season playoffs. I will feel really good if we can go toe to toe with the Rain and then go 3-1 for this last stage. I'll feel really good.
Mhm. Okay. I don't know.
Is
It's hard to fight that.
Is the Countdown Cup also a tournament, or is the Countdown Cup go straight into?
They go to Hawaii again, I think. I think I
So
looked it
there's
up.
one more. Yeah, I believe so. There's one.
Now,
more.
Tushy in
sure.
chat brings up a really good point that, with it being a new team, as far as the Outlaws are concerned, they're still meshing. In chat, they're saying that I think this year is just them getting used to everything, and that they think the Outlaws are going to be a force to be reckoned with.
Absolutely. I mean, yeah, for sure.
I mean, we
sure.
talk about synergy all the time in the show, right? And that's one of the things we have to consider is just team synergy. And we have really good team synergy, don't get me wrong. But I mean, changes are made. We're altering our roster here and there. We're trying to figure out who's the best starters for us to be playing right now. Unlike a team like San Francisco, which has a little bit more experience. Maybe San Francisco is a poor example, but there's a lot of teams out there that just have a lot more, synergy going on, and we have the potential to have the greatness that we see as fans for the team to have. We just got to give them the time and the resources to, do their practices, do their scrims, review the VODs, and go from there.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, absolutely. And I was gonna make a soccer reference, but I don't think anyone here would understand it. So never
Soccer.
mind.
What soccer?
Yeah.
So I know that we're not the map planning committee, obviously, but are there any maps that you're hopeful will come up on the rotation against these 4 opponents, or maybe any that you don't want to see?
I'm tired of Oasis. Get it out of here.
I've always hated Oasis. Ugh. That City Center with the one with the cars. That one I hate watching that professionally because it just goes on.
I'd like to see Dorado
forever.
back. I'd like to see Dorado.
Yeah?
We did really well on Dorado. We've done
Rialto.
well.
I feel like we haven't seen much of Rialto or Havana.
Havana. Oh, sorry. DMCA. Sorry. But yeah.
We were always good on, well, we're mediocre on Havana, but I feel like our biggest plays come from Havana.
True.
Okay,
Shadow
so
Heart World
I
was
always
in
mix it
Savannah.
up. So Junkertown we're okay on, right? It's
Season 1 Junkertown was like amazing, and then like after season 1 it's been like
questionable. Yeah.
Oh, God, please no.
It's Route 66 that we worry about, right? That's the killer.
I
Right?
was about to bring that up. That's true. Route 66, we're absolute garbaggio on that. But new
We've
team.
gotten better. We've gotten better.
Have we played Dorado 66 this season? I can't remember. We
Dorado?
haven't, right?
I mean,
Dorado was like
No, not Dorado. I'm sorry.
stage-
Route
yeah.
66. I'm sorry.
I think
don't
we
know.
played on Dorado. 'Cause I believe all of the maps have been in rotation. At this
Yeah.
point.
Everything's been in rotation at this point.
So the last stage is going to be a repeat.
I know that we've actually had really good results on Dorado. We had I can't remember who we were playing, but we had that full hold in point A.
Yeah,
Yeah, we
it
did-
was
yeah, we did Dorado.
against. I think it was actually against Fuel and Stage.
Yeah, that
one
sounds about right. Yeah,
first
it was
week or
yeah,
whatever. It
Fuel.
was either Stage or Shock, and we pulled in Jake, and Jake was like, "I'm gonna play Brig," and then we full held the team. So I was like,
Yeah, so Dorado I'm looking forward to. I would definitely put that on the pro list. Route 66 is kind of mid for me. I don't know how I completely feel about getting more of that. I can go either way with something like a King's Row. I mean, obviously I love to watch King's Row. I love to play King's Row. I'm a bigger Eichenwald person personally. But I think that we have a very good presence on Eichenwald. I think that we've got a at least average win rate on Eichenwald, if I remember correctly. So
I kind of want to avoid all these like high ground aficionado maps like Hollywood, Gibraltar. I lost my train of thought.
Gibraltar does seem to be a little bit of an issue for us. We've definitely had some rough matches in that.
It'll be out of the
Sometimes
rotation. We'll be fine.
Sometimes it's not an issue, and sometimes it's an issue. So
I just feel like I feel like Gibraltar goes one-sided in either direction whenever we play those. So take that for what it is.
Exactly. But yeah, I honestly would like to see Rialto and Havana. I feel like those would be fun maps to see again. 2CP is not going to change, unfortunately.
Till it goes away in Overwatch 2.
Yeah, well, I mean, we don't have Paris or Horizon. I actually kind of would be interested to see Professional Horizon Lunar Colony play again. But
I have to go throw up. I'll be right back.
I've always liked the Jake Rat and the Rafters.
Yeah,
you know,
there's a rat in the rafters. The rat in the rafters.
I literally have I'm in trouble with Overwatch because I keep leaving 2CP maps. It's like you're gonna lose XP for this match, but I mean not comp, but quick play.
Okay, that's at least good to know that you're not like bailing on your conference.
Yeah, I'm not throwing in comp, but I'm dodging.
I mean,
2CP
but you're
maps.
saying that you are throwing in comp though.
Maybe.
We're gonna keep getting Holly or sorry, Hanamura, Anubis, and Volskaya.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. Like I'll be happy the day that Anubis goes away. Like I will celebrate. I will throw an anti-Anubis party at my apartment.
There will be a day.
It will be Anubis themed, and then afterwards we're gonna take all the decorations, put them in a barrel, and then light the barrel on fire.
That's what I'm thinking about when Overwatch 2 comes out. I don't know if we have another year of Overwatch League 6v6 Overwatch 1, or if they're gonna try and release it. I think it's probably gonna come out. Like I think we're gonna have another year of 2CP 6v6 Overwatch 1. I think we're gonna have season 5 of Overwatch League.
Right.
So you heard it here first, folks. The LSV has one more year before it is a Valorant supporters club, supporters group.
Let's not even do
because
that.
Overwatch 2 is already dead. It hasn't even started. You're gonna kill my off tanks out there, my Ryan Zara combos. Nah.
They're literally gonna make tanks more fun.
Noob, I'm gonna miss you as my off tank.
Until there's a problem, there's no problem.
I will miss you as my off tank. Okay.
If you're nothing without your off tank, you shouldn't have it.
Hey, I'm a fantastic Reinhardt. He just makes me even better.
I elevate.
Enables me.
And now the off tanks will be main tanks. On paper, it should be good. I'm excited.
Okay.
I'm a tank player too.
Let's do a quick round of predictions for fun. Let's go over the upcoming opponents, and you give me what you think your predictions for the map wins are. right? Should be fairly easy. So we're going to start off against the Reign.
I will preface this by saying if Reign win the tournament, we're probably not going to win no matter what the hero bans are, because they're going to be running off that high. But if Reign does not win, I see it going 3-2 either way. I'm not going to actually predict a winner for that one because I can't really pinpoint it. But I think the final score will be 3-2, and we'll just say go with the Outlaws because I have faith.
Okay. Tuna, what do you got?
I'm waiting for Noob. What's up?
Noob's got his
Noob, what's
prediction
up? You got
glasses
the hot
on.
take glasses on.
What is your prediction for the Reign?
For the Reign, going 3-1.
3-1.
Loss.
All right.
Loss.
3-1 loss. Okay.
Reign have earned it. Like, I don't want to say that we've not earned it, but Reign have earned it. They're scary good right now.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of variables. Hero bans, if that goes our way, we have a big advantage. And if Reign just gets stomped in Hawaii, we can jump on them.
Mhm.
But right now they've earned it. I gotta give credit where it's due.
So you think they're just going to 3-0 us, or you think we're going to go like 3-2?
I think it's possible, but I want to see a map 5. I want to see a win, but like
I feel like
we
it'll at least go to
look
map
good,
5.
if we look really good against the Reign, that can be like a moral victory that we can take to Mayhem and clap them. Justice and Gladiators, we can go toe to toe with them if we do well against Reign and clap Mayhem.
Okay. So yeah, that's Reign. And for me, Reign, I think is going to go to a map 5. I can't decide who's going to come out on top because again, it's going to really come down to what the Reign looks like over the tournament.
If they win, it's going to be that high all the way through.
Absolutely,
like,
absolutely.
If we beat Reign, then we can just clap everybody.
Yeah. So
and go in. Oh, that'd be huge. That's why I love this. If we beat Reign, we are in such a good spot.
But that's not how the anime of Overwatch League works.
Right. We all know that Overwatch League is scripted, y'all. What about the Mayhem? How are you feeling about the match against the Mayhem? What are our predictions for that one? Is that a 3-0? Is that a map 5? What do you got?
3-0 Outlaws.
3-1.
3-1?
I think Hero. It's tough because of the Hero bans, but I'm gonna say 3-2 Outlaws. I think
3-2 Outlaws.
Look, there's still talent on that roster. If they had their lowest that they've been in, if they've already had their low and they're coming back on the up and up, watch out. So
okay,
they're not gonna lay down and take it.
Main tank issue is what's making me go with the 3-0.
We need to beat Mayhem though. Like
I was going to say 3-1. I was willing to give them.
There you go.
I'm willing to give them a map, but I think that we have an advantage over them.
If we lose to Reign and we lose to Mayhem, the season's not looking good.
They're
at all.
They're different weeks, so we have time to. I believe we play Justice and Reign right off the bat.
This is a great opportunity.
It's Reign Mayhem.
We need to treat Reign like a end of season, like grand final. Like Reign, that's such a big game for us.
Right. Okay, so next up, Washington Justice. How are we feeling against the Justice? Because the Justice they've been doing all right.
They're looking better. They were looking
better.
really bad, and now they're looking a lot better.
Yeah.
But we're gonna have to beat them.
Predictions. Give me some predictions here, y'all. Give me some predictions.
My brain fired on the team. So Justice, 3-1 Outlaws.
3-1 Outlaws.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think Justice will give us a run for our money, but I think we'll end up coming out on top.
Tuna, hot takes. How are you feeling about us against the Justice?
It's not really a prediction. We need to beat Justice. We don't have to beat the Reign, but if we do, I think our season's gonna go upward from here on out. But if we have to beat Justice, because if we like, they just beat Gladiators.
Mm-hmm.
So if we beat Justice, we can beat Gladiators.
Right.
If we can't beat Justice, it doesn't. It's not a good looks. It's not a good
I'm,
outset.
I'm saying that it's another 3-2 situation. I'm willing to favor the Outlaws, but I think it's going to go to a map 5.
Justice is a really important game for us, so we have to beat them.
Mhm.
Our season depends on it.
Do you have any map predictions for it? Do you think we'll 3-0? Do you think we're gonna...
I don't know. I just know that it's probably the single-handedly most important match of the season.
He's putting more stress on the players.
Right,
than-
right. Oh, holy Joe, what do you got for predictions for the
I
Justice?
think we're making a chicken out of a feather. I think hero bands, y'all, like it has
Yeah.
such a big implication on everything.
Mhm.
That
This is more of, hey, let's get our predictions out for fun.
This is pure speculation.
I'm telling you right now that our toughest match of this upcoming season or this upcoming stage, if you will, is going to be against Gladiators. I've been saying it from the
Really?
beginning. I've been saying it from the
yes.
beginning.
Okay. I mean, they have been
Look
quite a
at you.
force.
They are the dark horse of this league.
Mhm.
Have they dropped some? Yeah. Have we dropped some? Absolutely. So, they have a ton of experience on that roster, and I think they're going to be our biggest ones. I think, if there was no bans, Tuna, I'm with you 100% that Justice and Rain are our biggest focuses. But right now, I think with hero bands coming up and the experience that Gladiators have, I think they're going to be our biggest challenge.
Yeah.
So. I think we probably lose to Rain. We beat Mayhem, Justice, and against Glads is gonna be a toss-up, in my opinion. I think that one is gonna be of who's gonna wake up on the right side of the bed that day.
Gladiators is you called it from the very beginning. They're one of those teams that kind of were asleep early on, but have gathered momentum.
Yep.
Pushing forward, and now
Yeah, if I remember correctly, they had a little bit of a weaker beginning of the season, but now they've seemed to just gain momentum out of nowhere almost, it felt like.
It's been
they
there.
lost to Shock in the first week, but didn't they beat?
They lost to Atlanta. They lost to Washington Justice.
But I know they did beat
They
Fuel
beat
at
Boston.
one point, but they lost to Shock. So I mean, they were never a bad team to begin with, but Fuel's
Right.
also making their
So-
repel, feel their musical chairs. Ever since they've decided to stick with the one
Mhm.
with Fielder, they've been a strong team for
I-
contention.
I think beating Justice means we beat the Gladiators.
Okay.
They just lost to both these teams. They clapped Boston and Defiant, but I mean these two
Okay.
losses are huge.
I'm gonna stick with Noob on this one. I'm gonna say Gladiators beat Outlaws 3-2.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, Overwatch League is an anime, and it doesn't matter who you beat, because there's always one team that's better than you.
I'm
Okay.
not scared of Gladiators. I think they'll be the second easiest match we have. They just seem to be like a lot of like talent that doesn't really know what it's doing.
I'm gonna go with Tuna on this one. I think that we have a bigger chance of taking down the Gladiators.
I love all those players. Like Marath,
yeah.
I love Bert. I
Yeah,
got a
they have a
picture of
fantastic-
Birdring behind me. Kevster, I'm still, not.
I'm actually a
Best
really big fan of
with-
their roster. Like they have an
Space
an
is great. I
immensely
know.
talented roster.
Apollo's calling out Space. I love Space. I think Space is a class act.
Yeah.
Great player to follow.
All right, as we get close to winding down this thing, we do need to take a break just from the Overwatch League for just a minute. Let's all clear our brains before the final questions. We will relax. Everybody breathe in and breathe out. And we'll have a nice game of Would You Rather. So Noob, go ahead and take it away.
Right. Best part of the show, everybody.
Do we have a poll? Do we have a poll today?
We don't have a poll today.
I-
We didn't prepare that far in advance. I wrote the script like 30
We
minutes
can do a
before we went
poll.
on
We
the
can
air.
do a slash poll.
Yeah, do it. Do a poll. Do a poll. This is important.
Slash poll. How do I?
So we can
how
get
do I-
engagement
how do I
and
set up to create a poll?
I'm curious, like those of you in Twitch chat, like, do you guys feel like we're going to have a strong stage against these 4 opponents? Because we are going up against a lot of things. We're going up against, Justice. We're going up against Gladiators. Is Mayhem the easy target, or do we end up like, because of hero bans, maybe they get an advantage. That's going to be a huge problem if out of nowhere mayhem like rises up because of hero bans and gladiators get knocked down. It's I know that we're sitting here like happily trying to make predictions about it, but it's true. Those hero bans are really going to make be a huge factor on what happens in the next stage.
Yeah, I don't know how.
Are
There
you
it goes.
having
Okay, so what's the question?
I got the second one up and ready as a poll. So
Dude, this is literally your segment.
This is just your segment.
All right,
Take
all
over.
right,
Do your
all
segment.
right. Okay.
Do the poll. Do the poll.
Here we go. All right, so Kareem's coming back. Thank you so much for that.
it's the time machine one.
Yes. Alrighty, everybody.
Spoilers.
Would you rather have a time machine or a teleporter?
I already answered.
Teleporter.
Why?
Because I hate driving, especially in Texas.
But you could just use your time machine to get in,
I'm going to say teleporter, and here's why. I think that we as human beings, no matter how mentally strong we are, do spend a lot of time looking back and looking at the what ifs of the world, and especially our own lives, and say, well, what if I did this differently? What if I did that differently? What if I did all these things? But what we fail to take into account is that all of those decisions that we made us the people that we are now. And so if I went back and changed everything that I could change within my own life, there's a very real possibility that I wouldn't be here sitting with all of y'all, and I wouldn't be willing to risk the friendships that I have for the sake of trying to make my life better, because my life is already better because all of y'all are in it.
Oh, good answer.
I also agree with Viz on the whole time machine situation. I feel like, you live your life and you move forward. You can't move forward if you have a time machine that allows you to go back. So
Apollo said, get a time machine and prevent myself from buying Overwatch. Okay, dude.
But we are humans, and I believe we would abuse the power that is given with time.
Mhm.
But I would rather just have a teleporter and not have to worry about getting from place to place. I could wake up at 6:09, 6:59 and be at work on time.
That would be
Because
fantastic.
I have a teleporter. But yeah, no, definitely
So-
teleporter.
So if you answer teleporter, you have a life, it has a path, and you can pretty much make the path whatever you want. You can vacation, you can get to
Mhm.
work, you can show up wherever you want. But that's it. I'm choosing time machine because that you could do anything imaginable. You just got to get around when you get to that time. But I'd go back to like the wild, wild west. You could like go travel somewhere now and pick a time you want to see and go see like historical events. You could like be at the grassy knoll where JFK got shot and just witness that with your own eyes. You could travel through history with your own eyes. I would be a cowboy in the Wild West. I don't know. I would see y'all. I guess I'd come back to this very exact moment because I have a time machine, but I wouldn't see you guys for a while. You guys would see me like this, but it wouldn't be the life I know it, just more convenient. It would be this whole new life. I would have like this like roadmap to whatever time, this historical era event. You could find out facts and fiction and see
I mean, it'd be
what's actually
fascinating.
happened.
There's a lot of fascinating things one could do with time machine.
That's one of my
New,
biggest
what about
dreams.
you?
Man, so I know that previously we had to ask somewhat of a similar question, and I answered almost identically to what you said, James. Of like, I wouldn't want to change what got us to where we are now, right? But after listening to Tuna, how great would it be to go back and save all of the literature that was destroyed when they burned the Great Library of Alexandria?
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
stuff
I
like
totally
that.
get it.
Like, can you imagine if we found out, oh, hey, by the way, dragons and elves and dwarves and all that shit is actually real, but we burned it all down? I mean, it had to have come from somewhere, right? Like, what if the cure to something back then was there? But
I see it. I can see it.
now that being said,
Cocaine and whiskey.
I would Just straight to the cocaine and whiskey, and you no more
Doctor's
cancer.
orders.
But that being said, it is also a terrifying thing. That if you imagine, like, if you go back to the Wild West or whatever, you get shot by a roving band of bandits or whatever. Doctors don't know what the hell to do, right?
Time travel to the future. I'd try time travel to a nice hospital in the future.
What if you time travel and there's a nuclear holocaust? Because we
Okay, then I'd pick 2021.
But,
Okay,
but I would definitely go back to the past and try to, like Tuna said, and try to see some things. But I would employ, you know, like some people that know what they're doing, that can handle themselves, you know. So yeah.
All
and
right.
then one last thing. So like one thing, now that you mentioned like all that stuff, I thought, so when you think of a dinosaur, you know what it looks like a dinosaur. It's like, right? But like, we don't actually know what dinosaurs look like. We just take what their fossil bones looked like. We have no idea what they look like. I want to go see what dinosaurs actually looked like, because I know they probably didn't look like Land Before Time, but it's just like a common, like,
It was just giant chickens all the way down.
likely what they looked like. We have no idea. So that I want to see what dinosaurs actually looked like eye to eye.
Tush brings up a really good point.
All right. So let's talk about the second and final would you rather question for the panel. What is it?
Good. But yes. All right. The second and final would you rather question is, would you rather take care of the Beast from the Beast and the Beauty and the Beast, or would you rather date Gaston?
For the rest of your life, you said.
For the rest of your life, yes.
What do you mean take care of the beast? What's wrong with him? I haven't seen the movie in a while.
I mean, he's a beast.
He's just big
That's
and
the whole-
hairy.
And he's mad all the time.
Is he my boyfriend or what?
I mean,
take
that's
care
up
of
to
him.
you.
What's
I
the
mean,
candle holder's guy's name?
Lumiere.
What now?
Lumiere.
Lumiere. There you go. You'd basically be his housekeeper. Like, just gotta take care of him.
I already have dogs and cats that shit all over the place. As weird as it would be, I feel like taking care of the beast.
I
would be
think
no
taking
big
care of
deal.
the beast is the easier answer. First off, that library though,
Oh,
Yeah.
that's like big pro in my book, so to speak. I think that he's more manageable. I think that unfortunately Gaston is too far gone, too far toxic masculinity to be saved. So yeah, I wouldn't want to put up with that. Sorry.
Gaston's ego is way too
Yeah.
much for me to handle.
I already have a
I'm-
big ego as it is. I can't have two of those in the same room.
I am a simple woman, and I need simple things in my life, and that man would cause way too much drama. More drama than half of the girls that I knew in high school. I'm telling you right now. I can't. I will take care of the beast all day, every day. I gotta walk him. I'll walk him. Don't worry.
Get
I'll
a
clean up.
Roomba.
I already have all the rollers to get rid of dog hair and cat hair. It's fine. I'll deal with it. Yep.
Tuna?
So, I think Gaston's a cool character, right?
Mhm.
He's a great singer. Guy's a freaking Chad. But I'm straight, so I'm trying to think. I wouldn't be a very good boyfriend. So like,
Well,
And
okay.
then-
I wasn't taking that into account. All right. I was just thinking in this hypothetical situation, if
I'd be like, hey, honey, like, how am I doing at this whole boyfriend thing?
Just imagine you come in home from work, been a long day, Gaston's just in an apron and naked underneath. Like, just be like, kind of like, I made you some eggs or some shit.
And you can also imagine Gaston as a female in this situation
Sure,
if that's
that's-
easier for
yeah.
you. But I mean, it's still the same ego, the same personality, just with a
Here's
different set of genitalia.
let me tell you why I would go with Gaston.
oh no, you're gonna be the
Hold
contrarian.
on.
Oh Lord.
What if Gaston just hasn't been told otherwise? What if all he knows? Think of that time period and think of how much we've come, right, as a civilization. What if he just doesn't know any better? What if he just needs someone?
Joe's
that-
like,
hold on,
I could save him.
I
could
can save him.
You want to
darn
see
it.
that time period? I got a time machine. I'll take you right now, baby. Let's
Boom!
go.
There
Let's
we
go
go.
see
Time
this
machine.
dawn.
We go back. We meet baby Gaston and we show him otherwise that treating women with respect is the best way to go. But you see, Apollo. That's right, dude. He went to kill the beast to save the town, dude.
No, he went to kill the beast because the girl he had a crush on was in love with an animal and not him. It's totally narcissistic ego.
Tuna, what's your choice?
Nah,
What's your final
nah.
answer before we?
All I know is that Noob is gonna affect Gaston so much. Gaston's gonna be like, "When I was a lad, I got Noobatron to teach me how to be nice," and it, like, where did that come from? But I don't know. I think the beast seems pretty chill. I'd like cook him, breakfast and hang out with him. Yeah, the beast is cool, dude.
Okay, so it's close to wrap up time. We have a couple really quick fire questions as we wind the show down. First off, I want to know which players on the Outlaws should we be keeping a close eye on for the next couple weeks? I'm just curious, like, do you think there's a particular Outlaws member that feels like you feel like they're going to step up their game a little bit more after this last weekend?
I'll go last.
Crimzo is going to be my probably my player to keep an eye on. I think he's just one of those guys that keeps a level head. I feel like he might not be quite as personable as like Jake as far as like talking wise go, but I think he's got that level headed.
You think he has something to prove?
I don't even know if he feels like he needs to prove anything anymore, but I've always been impressed with his support play, both especially on Baptiste. Even if Baptiste gets
his Baptiste is so good,
right? He's constantly getting kills, and it's just like cleaning up fights. And even if Baptiste ends up being the hero that's banned, he still has Ana, he still has Zenyatta. Like, have no worries as far as what he can and cannot play based off of what gets taken out of the meta. I thought of this after the the weekend, and I was like, I should have asked the players what heroes they would like to see banned, but unfortunately I didn't think about it on the day of. But I just think he's one of those guys that's well-rounded enough that even if
he can adapt,
take away something, he can adapt easily.
Yeah, absolutely. Tuna, who is your player to watch over the next couple weeks?
Jonggu.
Mm-hmm.
I think Jonggu's. We really got to step up.
We know that Ryan will not be in the hero band, so that's one of his mains, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's got competition on the team now too. Like, he can be replaced by Dreamer.
Mm-hmm.
So Jonggu's gonna be my player to watch because I fell in love with him at the beginning of the season, and the Dreamer came in and kind of took the spotlight, and now we put Jonggu back, and then we went 0-6 last weekend. So let's get Jonggu back to the top.
Okay. Noob, what do you got? Who's your player to watch?
Yeah, both of you are wrong. I think the player to watch here is Juby.
Really?
Because like Jonggu he's doing what he can, but he's also playing what he's told. Mm-hmm. Right? We already know Crimzo is Mr. Reliable. Crimzo's going to be stellar regardless of what you make him do.
Mm-hmm.
The person that seems to be kind of being cut out and being split from the team consistently is Juby. So how is Juby going to find sustainability in the upcoming meta, and how is he taking these losses? Right.
I actually really like your approach on this topic. It's a good one.
It's because I saw through the glasses, Cree. I saw through the glasses.
I actually talked with Juby. In the meet and greet. I was like, Juby, like, dude, like your break performance is skyrocketing. I was like, keep it up, because we're all pretty impressed.
I think Piggy's mine.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
I think that he feels more deeply than we think that he does, and I think that these losses are really going to make him just want to get back to the grind even more. And I think we're going to see an enhanced performance because of it.
I just hope we aren't negatively affected by hero bans. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm not gonna say.
I mean, how much lower can you go,
anything.
Kree? We didn't win a map all weekend.
Okay, so now we know that the season is far from over, and while the Outlaws did have a rough go this weekend, we are still one of the top teams in the league. So as our final question for the panel, if you had some words of encouragement to say to them right now, what would you tell the Outlaws?
You got this, boo boo. No.
Go ahead, Kree.
I would say, screw what the internet says. Keep doing what you're doing best. Don't let any losses get you down. Your fans have your back no matter what. I mean, you saw that this weekend. Everyone was there supporting you, even after such a tragedy as it was. You got this. Keep it up. And if you need anything, I'm here to talk to you. Kind of thing.
Kree is now your licensed Outlaws therapist. You've heard it here first.
Unofficial, non-registered. I don't have a psychology degree, but I'll listen.
Kree has 10 unread messages in Discord now.
Who's next? Who has some words of encouragement for the boys?
I've said it already, but I would, if they're listening right now, I'd tell them, hey, don't worry about rain. Don't worry about rain. I don't think anyone is saying you have to beat rain. It'll be fantastic if you do. What we got to worry about is can't lose to Mayhem, have to beat Justice, and Gladiators should be an easy win at that point. And then at that point for the Hawaii tournament, it'll be our first one, and the end of season playoffs, then we can really focus on rain. But if we let a loss to the rain ruin our season, we can't do that. So we have to expect a tough game against the rain, and Mayhem, Justice, Gladiators, that our road has to be nowhere from there but up.
Okay. What do you got?
So, God, I kind of. Okay, I'm not gonna do that. But I'll just say that I had a prepared response for this.
Yeah, Coach Noob.
I'm a tough act to follow, baby.
Well, it's because I just disagree with everything you said. But
I got a teleporter. Yeah, but you're not even looking forward to Overwatch 2.
Because
so,
we can focus on rain because we have a day off between the games.
Yeah, I'm not saying throw the rain game. I'm saying if you lose to rain, don't let it ruin the Mayhem, Justice, and Gladiator wins that we need to finish off the season strong. And then we can rematch rain, and then we can prepare for them.
Okay, that makes sense. That made more sense.
But don't throw the rain game, but don't let a rain loss ruin our season. Just don't let that happen, because it's very Outlaws for that to happen, and I don't want to see it again.
I'm honestly in the boat. If you guys go 2-2, I'm not upset, and I'm not.
And if we beat rain,
but it's not a big deal.
If we beat rain, the end of the season looks so good.
It's true. Noobtron, what are your words of encouragement for the boys?
Hey, boys, look, let the cards fall as they may. Let's go get some claws afterward. That's honestly, it's look, you have already exceeded our expectations as fans. I know that you're all our fierce competitors. At the end of the day, hey, you know what? There's always someone better than you. You got to have that mentality. So to Tuna's point, don't be afraid of anything or anyone. Go out there, do your best, apply yourself, listen to your coaches. But at the end of the day, just if you are confident that you 100% gave it your all and you did your best, GG, go next. Let's go get some claws afterwards, dude.
Yeah, sounds good.
There's a famous saying in sports, and it's bend but don't break. So we're pretty close to breaking right now. If we come out strong for the Countdown Cup, keep it a bend, come back strong. I feel really good about going to the grand finals.
All right. And that's everything that we have this week for the Outlaws Outpost. If you want to send us your love for the Outlaws to read on the air, hit me up on Twitter at GNGGcast. You can find all of us over at lsv.gg, where you can join our Discord. And check out my other show, Good Night and Good Game, a weekly nerd news roundup, available on any podcast provider and Spotify. Until next time, heroes, good night and good game.
Goodbye, everybody.
Night.